see me? How? Never
Alrighty.
see
So,
me and hear me.
thumbs up. We can see you. We can hear you.
Okay, great. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody to your 60-minute freedom framework. We are so excited to have you here today. I have to tell you, I was so excited earlier, just right before we turned on the cameras, I realized I was wearing my shirt inside out. So we did it. So we won't have that wardrobe catastrophe here today.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and jump right in. So few housekeeping rules really quickly, just so we have a good setup for you. So let's go through our learning checklist today. This is what we're going to be covering in this session. So we're going to talk about the 3 daily activities that will cut down on 80% of your busy work and produce faster results. We're also going to talk about, everybody gets so excited about this, seeing a return on your investment from all your previous investments so that your business feels aligned and the money flows. So if you are one of those people who has the shelf help and you can see all your business programs that you've purchased and you really haven't gotten into any of them or not as much as you would like, don't worry, because we're going to show you how to get around that. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is how to integrate more travel into your schedule immediately so you can run your business efficiently and effectively from anywhere in the world. So this is currently making a big difference in just a couple of our client lives right here. You can see Kathleen on the left. She is actually in our flagship program, which is called Ultimate Business Freedom. And before she was working with us, she wanted to spend more time with her kids, her grown kids, with her grandkids. She's a huge kayaker, outdoor person, but she was feeling like she really couldn't take the time off that she wanted to, which was a lot more than a weekend, and still run her business. So now she is booking kayaking trips. She goes out of state so she can see her grown kids. She's posted all over social media now about how much she's enjoying spending the time with her family. And then we've got Jen on the right. And Jen was somebody who had a very clear vision of what it is that she wanted to do, but she had all of this stuff. She had digital assets. She had tech things going on. She had some kind of a plan, sort of a little bit, but it was all crossing over and it was just turning into a bit of a mess for her. And so what she really was able to do with our help was pull everything apart and then put all the puzzle pieces back together so that she has a cohesive business that makes sequential sense. And now she can look at her business holistically and make decisions from there instead of some kind of fragmented way. And of course, if you're in our world, you're probably very passionate about travel, to whatever that means to you. And Jen recently booked and then came back from Portugal not too long ago.
She did. Yep.
Get her business strides over there. So here's how you can get the most out of this today. First of all, turn off all your distractions. I know Facebook is singing the siren song and your emails are going on, but turn it all off and be fully present. This is just 60 minutes. We are going to do some workshop activities. So the better able you are to pay attention and be fully present, the better off this is going to be for you. Feel free to type your questions into the chat box and we'll answer questions at the end. And then big thing here for most of you, because most of you, if you're here, you probably already have a business that's doing well. It's paying the bills. It's moving along. So once you're at that stage and you're past the beginning stage, there can be a tendency to go, well, I know how to do that, or yeah, I've tried all that, or hello, who do you think you're talking to? This isn't my first rodeo. So we want you to just suspend all prior programming beliefs or, but I've tried that thoughts, and be open to hearing things in a new way. All right, so who are we? I am Jane Gary. This is my lovely business partner, Marie Hernandez, and we are your travel-focused business consultants, and we are here to help you integrate your biggest travel dreams with your greatest business success. We've got 15 years each in the online business coaching and consulting world, and we partnered up. We just celebrated 1 year together.
Yes, we did.
This new business, which is called Wander the Seven, last month. So we are right on the verge of really becoming a portfolio company, which just means we've got multiple companies that are under one umbrella brand, which is Wander the Seven. So enough about us. So let's start talking about you now. So here are the big questions that we really want to cover today. What is the single biggest challenge that you have as an entrepreneur? Most of us, they are the same challenges. And then what happens is certain challenges on certain days rear their ugly head more so than the others that might be a little bit in the closet for a while. The second thing is, why do results seem hard to get when you are doing all the things that your mentors told you to do? Anybody Anybody struggle through that? We've personally gone through that before, so we know what that feels like. And then how can you start experiencing more freedom in your business and your life? Because I don't know about all of you, but I'd be willing to bet, because this is true for Marie and for me, we didn't decide to become business owners so that we were shackled up to our desk and tethered to our laptop and did not have freedom and flexibility in our calendars to do more of the things that we actually love to do. You go into business ownership because you want to be able to control your own schedule, and you want to not hit the cap on the income. And you certainly want to make sure that when you look at any given day, week, or month, that there's plenty of what we call white space on the calendar to go pursue your other passions. Your business probably is your passion. We are incredibly passionate about what we do and our clients, and we want to make sure that we have time to go do all of the other things that we are also passionate about. So the problem that most people face is that they want a business that gives them more freedom and flexibility without having to sacrifice income, but they're doing it all wrong. So most people are implementing more tactics, chasing the next shiny object and the big promise, which is toxic learning, working longer hours. Well, if I just sit at my desk and not take a nap, that would be me, not do this thing, not go do that thing, then it'll get done and everything will be okay. You're also probably experiencing, you're creating new lead magnets, master classes, programs. That's our little squirrel over there. You get on the roll and you're going, okay, that didn't work. Maybe this will, that didn't work. Maybe this will. Oh, I'm bored. Let me create this. Oh, wait, I have a good idea. Let me create this. If you are in our world, you're probably a very creative person. You're highly intelligent and you have one busy brain. And that means you are constantly thinking about truly great ideas, but you cannot implement all of them, and you certainly cannot implement all of them at one time. You're also probably constantly hunting for new leads. So this is very frequent. The 30 years that I have been in sales, can we get somebody muted? Because I'm hearing a kickback. In my 30 years of sales training and experience in a producing role, constantly hunting for new leads, most people think that they have a new lead problem. You do, and you do, and so getting new leads is only part of the problem. If you don't have some of these other things in place, which is where a framework helps you get them organized and structured, it doesn't matter if you're getting new leads anyway, because everybody's just kind of falling into the abyss. And then finally, let's just be real. You're probably, more than once, you probably have said to yourself, I wish people would just hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy. So if that has ever been you, you are definitely in the right place. So when you do all of these things, we love keeping it real. So if you guys are just feeling anything that I'm talking about, you can throw an emoji in the chat, give us a yes, whatever you want to say there. So when you're doing all of these things, you're constantly hunting for leads, you're squirreling out, you're constantly creating, you're wondering why people aren't buying, you want to hurry up the sales cycle, you get into this place that's very frenetic energy, and then you kind of start getting discouraged, and then you ask yourself the worst possible question, which is, what's wrong with me? And then you might actually say, well, this isn't working. And then you go back to repeating the same patterns. You start implementing more tactics. You put your squirrel on supercharge and you start chasing more and more shiny objects and big promises back into the toxic learning. You work longer hours. You start creating more stuff. You're just looking for the thing that's going to move your business forward or to the next level. You constantly are hunting for new leads because, hey, everybody in your world, but if they haven't bought by now, they never will, right? No. And so you're hoping people will hurry up and buy. And you're wondering, why are you not getting ahead? So then you stop saying this isn't working and you start saying this. If everyone else is doing the same things and they are successful, then it must be me. Or I cannot find the secret to success that everyone else seems to understand. And then this one, maybe I don't have what it takes. And then the final straw here starts to sound like, maybe I'm just not meant to be successful no matter how hard I try. And success is on a spectrum. So maybe you've done a really good job of getting consistent income under 6 figures, but you're having a hard time breaking over that 6-figure mark. Or maybe you've constantly been at right around 100,000 year after year, but it just doesn't seem to be moving up from there. So if you've said any of those things to yourself, this is a full stop moment right here, full stop moment. And by the way, I can't see the chat or anything that's going on, but
I
please
gotcha. Yeah,
please let us
yeah,
know if you are feeling any of this, if you have
yeah,
experienced any of this. Let us
yeah,
know because we do too. We frankly like to know we're not the only ones. Okay.
yeah.
So we are like most people, and we failed trying all of the following. We would start things and then stop it because it didn't work. And then we'd start something new. We would assess the business through emotions rather than data. Oh, look, people must not like our thing. Well, did you check open rates or are you just making that up in your head? We've done that. We have signed up for every free thing, hoping more information would solve the problem. Especially, I love to
Yeah.
research. So I'm on sometimes, hey, more information is better. And that's not always true. Mimicking someone else's style or format because it worked for them. This is modeling where you definitely don't want to copycat. That is not cool, but you can be inspired by other people and you go, well, it's working really well for them. So maybe if I do it kind of sort of this way in my own way, it's going to work for me. And it doesn't. And that's frustrating. We've also relied on our strengths to the exclusion of other parts of our business. And we're going to talk about that in true workshop mode here in just a little bit. We have absolutely invested out of order and then not implemented and then have gotten really mad at ourselves. Anybody like major gold medal and beating yourself up? Yeah. We have also not understood what phase of the business we're in. A business has a phase cycle. And if you aren't aware of that, first and foremost, that's problematic. And if you also aren't aware which particular stage of the business you're in, also problematic. And then we've also not realized the why and the how of how to make all of the pieces of our business work together. And that's usually where it's, wauga time and the sub's starting to go down. So we are going to uncover almost all of these because we do only have an hour today. So we went through all of that, and that created a lot of this, a complete sense of overwhelm, anxiety, and dread, obsessive learning and planning. I have like 19 journals and 18 buckets of colored pens because surely if I just plan and strategize a little bit more, all the implementation will happen. We also had creating versus implementing minds. Let's create some more. Maybe this is the solution to the problem when we needed to implement. We were very confused and frustrated about why are other people seeming to have success doing what we think we're doing and what we've been told to do, and it's not growing the way that we wanted it to. We also could go into compare and despair. This is why her and not me, if you've ever felt that. And then we went into a hustling harder mindset. Now keep in mind, again, we have 15 years of experience being successful in the online industry coaching and consulting space. So one of the reasons we are so incredibly passionate about this 60-minute freedom framework is regardless of where you are in your business, you have probably experienced all of these things, and there's a guarantee you're going to experience all of this again. This is a rinse and repeat pattern that happens, which is why what we talk about a lot of the times is understanding where you are in the phase of your business will go a long way to alleviate a lot of these emotions. So what we realized was we just lost inspiration. We lost inspiration. We love our clients. We didn't lose love for them. We were still seeing the vision and we weren't willing to let that go. But every day was really starting to turn into a grind. We had hit a level and then we reached beyond that. We hit the next level. And now here cue the confetti and the dancing bears and everything was going on, and then plateau. And so we started to spin into all of the things that I just mentioned. Our income streams, they were starting to decrease and not increase, not a fun feeling. Our systems and processes were messy and weak. We had poor infrastructure. Every time you grow, you need to realize that all of the pieces of your business need to grow with you. Most people don't realize that, and then they really struggle with how to make that happen. And we were absolutely seamlessly struggling. I like that term, but no, we were struggling seamlessly to integrate all of our playtime and all of the other things that we love to do into our business so that we had, again, a holistic feeling lifestyle and not just this is when we work and this is when we go play. So this is basically where we were. Unhappy, confused. Fortunately, we didn't take it out on each other, but it became one of these, how you doing today? I'm good. How are you doing today? I'm good. What are we working on today? I don't know. And who wants to feel that way? So, how did that happen? You might relate to any or all of these. We took our eye off the ball of revenue generation and we just started creating stuff. We have a very clear vision of what we want our business to be, who we want to serve, the impact we want to make, the legacy that we want to leave. And that's the fun stuff. That's the sexy stuff. Doing all of the other things to actually make those dreams come true, that is not fun. That is not sexy. That can absolutely feel like a grind. So we were kind of living up here in our dreams with not really paying attention to what needed to be done on a daily basis. And that is revenue generation and the support to make all of that happen. We also got pretty sloppy on our follow up and follow through. We got very excited about all the new people that were coming into our community. This goes back to the thought process of lead generation. Yay, new people. We love them. We hope they love us. And follow up and follow through. So it's starting a great relationship and then it just kind of goes away, starts to fizzle out. We also banked on our experience and we didn't hire a mentor soon enough. We have just a huge background and vault of experience and having been successful in so many different ways. And we banked on that. And that was one of the biggest aha moments, I think, Marie, you and I had, where we were going, well, we know what to do. We did, but we didn't know the order in which to do it. We had plateaued. We ran out of runway of our skill set at this particular level and really we're struggling to take everything to the next level. So again, regardless of where you are in your business at this point, you're going to feel this. We also didn't delegate fast enough. We were unintentionally holding on to all of these things because our past said, well, we don't have the budget or the team or the people or whatever it was that we thought we needed to make all of this happen. And that really wasn't true at all. We had a team we were significantly underutilizing and we just hadn't learned how to let go of some things yet. We also modeled the marketplace without asking if it aligned with who we are. I personally went into a major funk the beginning of the year, January and February, because unintentionally I was moving towards kind of modeling what the market or the gurus, people I really love and respect, were saying to do. And I never actually took a moment, and Marie and I talked about this together as well. Take a moment, take a step back and say, does this feel good to us? Is this what we really want to do? Is this who we are? And eventually what ended up happening in a consistent pattern was we spent a lot of time on the urgent rather than the important. That's the symptom. The root cause, if you are spending a lot of time on the urgent rather than the important, is because you don't really know what to do next. Your lizard brain kicks into high gear. You now feel like you have to survive at your current level, and you start doing all these things that feel like they must get done today, but they don't, and they really don't move your business forward. Okay, I'm just going to take a pause here. I want to make sure everybody is tracking with me. How is everybody doing? And do you have your pens ready to go? Because you are going to be putting pens to paper here in a few minutes. Just give us a thumbs up, high sign. I'm going to take a drink of water.
Yep, we're all good. Everybody's resonating. Yep, feeling the feels. Yeah.
Okay, so we went through this little blip at the beginning of this year, and that's when we discovered the 60-minute freedom framework. Since following and implementing, well, really we kind of created it and then we followed it for ourselves and then we absolutely implemented it. And we had to have some serious conversations, not so much with each other, but with ourselves internally. We'll talk about that too. But since we created, followed, and then implemented this 60-minute framework, we have absolutely simplified our business to further support our travel lifestyle. We are huge travelers, not just vacation after vacation. We like to pick up, go and live in other places for a month or more. And that takes a lot of planning. And it also takes a certain level of income to really make that happen. We also generated, we were so happy, again, this was, a little party time here, but we generated $40,000 of revenue in our first reset month with only 2 offers. And now we're back on track to hit our revenue numbers that we're looking at for this year. We also leveraged untapped skills from our current team to streamline our business and take things off our plates. So that was part of what I was saying earlier. We weren't using our team. They're amazingly skilled, incredibly intelligent people we adore. And we were basically curtailing their growth because we were saying, oh, we'll just take care of it ourselves. Here's a big one. We removed everything, not just in the business, but personally. We really started to take a hard look at things. We removed everything that we did not love so that we could create room for more high impact activities and anything else that we really enjoyed. We integrated more adventures into everyday living. We talk about that a lot. Travel and adventuring doesn't mean you have to go get on a plane and cross a continent. It's nothing like that. We have clients who go in their backyard. We have clients who go 2 states over. It's all on what really feels good to you. And then we started to confidently make better and more aligned decisions that really tapped into who we are. And not surprisingly, we started to pull in our dream clients, our ideal clients. So how would that be for everybody if you could do that?
Definitely fantastic.
And we're doing awesome on time, so we're going to be able to get all this taken care of. So our goal today is to help you go from frazzled and frustrated to experiencing ultimate business freedom. So today what we're going to do is we're going to give you an overview of the 60-minute framework. That's the Freedom Framework, so that you focus on activities that move your business forward. We're also going to give you a simple and streamlined income plan. So you have, and this is really important, hear me on this, y'all. So you have clients now, you have clients in the near future, and you have clients for the long term. Again, 30 years in a seat of selling, sales training, personal production, and team management production. I will tell you that most people get into a mindset of, but I need a client now, or I need a client tomorrow, or I need a client next month. And it supersedes their ability to think long-term into the future. You do not build a sustainable business by thinking about, I need clients now, and getting that kind of energy going. You do need clients now, but you also need them in 2 years from now and in 5 years from now. So we're really going to take you through that. And then this is just a little fun piece here. We're going to show you how to integrate your next adventure immediately, so that someday it becomes today. And the next thing you know, you'll be like Kathleen, booking all her kayaking and hiking trips, or Jen going to Portugal, or we had another client who went in and said to her husband, I just booked tickets to Mexico. We're out of here. And he was, what? What, don't you have a business to run? And she did, but she had been working with us. So by the end of this training, you're going to be able to put more heart and soul into your business instead of more hustle. And you're going to be able to stop the stress and get to clients who say yes faster and easier. You're never going to hear us say effortlessly, because that doesn't exist. There are things that are easier to do, but if you're building a business and you're running a sustainable business and one that's successful, it does require effort. And finally, we're going to show you how to book your first adventure during a time that you should be working. Okay, so let's jump into this. Does everybody have their worksheet?
Erin, do you want to pop there you go. There's a link to the first worksheet there. I want to download that.
Take that. It's not a super fancy worksheet.
No.
So if you're, oh, I need to print this, or whatever your deal is, flexibility and freedom. Flexibility, certainly, when you travel for a lifestyle. So you can just write notes. There will be a replay of this, so you can check that out again. And we are always here. We're kind of, we really love the fact that we build a high touch business, meaning we are high touch with our clients right now. I'm sure that will get a little bit different in the future, but right now we're still very high touch. If you have any questions, we'll let you know how you can get a hold of us. Okay, so point number 1, do what matters most. You have to do what matters most. Now, if you are a business owner, what do you think your number 1 responsibility is? The number 1 goal that you have to do? Maybe you want to take a guess, throw it in the chat.
Yeah. Let's give them a second. So Darcy says, be consistent. Michaela says, generate revenue and serve clients.
Yep. Yeah. There
Serve
you go.
clients. Gina says, serve sales. Jacqueline says, serve. Susan says, talk to prospects.
Yes. All of them.
That's all
100%, all of those. So those are many pieces to the ultimate goal as a business owner, which is you need to be profitable. The business needs to be profitable. If you are the founder, if you are the co-founder and you're working with your founding partner, if you are the CEO, if you are what head honcho, whatever it is that you're calling yourself, when it is your company and you are running it, you 100% have the responsibility and the charge to make sure that your company, your business is profitable. How do you do that? You generate revenue. How does that happen? Through sales and marketing. And we could keep ticking down, but we're going to keep it a little high level today. So generating revenue, it's not hard, it's not a secret, and it's just something that most people again, in the busyness of the day, tend to back off on. Sometimes intentionally, it's an avoidance technique, and sometimes because you're just not thinking all the way through. Again, we're talking sustainable business. What is this going to look like 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road? So relationship building, this is your primary job. So earlier we talked about the 3 things. If you read our registration page, or if you remember it, we talked about the 3 activities that you can do that is going to provide you with 80% of the results and is going to cut back on 80% of the work that you are currently doing. So here it is. This is your job. You need to create connections. You need to have ongoing conversations to further those relationships. And then you need to schedule consultations. Create connections, ongoing conversations, schedule consultations. It's all about relationship building. That is selling, that is serving, that is generating revenue, which is the result that happens when you are serving people and you're having you have a strategic sales strategy that's working for you. So create connections, ongoing conversations, schedule consultations. If you did nothing but this, everything else is a big mess behind you. Doesn't matter. If you did nothing but this for 90 days, you would significantly change the course of your business and you would significantly improve the trajectory of it. So create connections, ongoing conversations, and schedule consultations. This was Joyce. Joyce is a great example of this. She had actually had a very successful coaching business for decades. And when she came to me, she was a little fried. So she loved her clients. She loved the work that she did, but she had too much on her plate. It was in overwhelm. And she really was feeling very, I don't know what to do next to make sure that I am working less hours. She's near retirement age, so she also just didn't want to be burning the candle at both ends like she felt that she had been doing. So we worked together. I came up with a sales strategy for her. It was super simple. We knocked out so much stuff that she had been doing. We redefined her ideal client, her avatar, and then we put in some implementation requirements, like kind of a checklist of what she was going to do to make sure that she was reaching the right people, that she was supporting, because she's a huge go-to serve person, which if you're here, you are too. That's how we are. And she just wanted to shorten the time frame on everything so she could get out and enjoy the rest of her life. So she did that. She sends me, she still does. I just talked to her a couple days ago. I'm having so much fun. So she really got this renewed sense of excitement and enthusiasm that she could run the business that she saw in her mind with less hours on the clock and doing activities that really felt very, very fun for her. And then this is Susan. Susan was really struggling with some marketing. It felt like a chore. It felt like something that just had to be done. She was, doing the reps, clocking in and out every day, making sure she was doing the things that somebody told her to do. And again, working with us, what she really discovered is that the only marketing that's going to work is the marketing that's done consistently. And the only marketing that's going to be done consistently is marketing you actually enjoy doing. Worst case scenario, you don't mind it. So she was doing what she was supposed to be doing. Her business had gotten up to a certain level, but she wanted to go beyond that. And again, without putting all of these extra working hours on her plate. So we turned marketing into something that was fun for her, and she was able to do that very consistently, and she was offline to the next level. So part of being able to learn how to implement anything, and when you think about the concept of a workshop, it's what is the work that I'm doing? When are we going to get to work? And I have good news for you. You're already working right now. We are getting to work. One of the biggest things that I see happen in any business, but especially in the online business, is this compulsion to go do something without really thinking it through first and giving your body no chance to feel into what it is that you're thinking. So when your thinking mind overrides your feeling body, you put pedal to the metal and you go do something. But it may be the wrong thing. It may be the thing that you most hate doing. It may be the wrong time. It may be the wrong people. But when you're in hustle mode, it's the more I do, the more production will occur, the more results I will see. And that is really not true. So part of this workshop is really about helping you frame things up in your mind differently so you can make different decisions, and therefore you will get different results. So I'd love to know if people could just kind of pop in the chat really quickly. What was your biggest takeaway from this first teaching point?
Give them
Yep.
I see people typing, so I get
Okay.
a couple minutes.
Okay. We will read those. I'm going to keep going here.
Building relationships. Florence says building relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not buddy buddy. You got to be best friends with everybody. Make sure you go have coffee with your 5,000 Facebook friends, because that's not realistic either. But
Right.
it's building relationships. We love to say this: love your audience, love your clients, love your community, and they will love you back. And if they don't love you, that is actually okay. And they will choose to exit, and that is also okay. But yeah, build those relationships, and everything really stems from there. So here's
Darcy,
oh
just
yeah.
real quickly, Darcy also says scheduling calls and meetings. Debbie says do what matters most and what you enjoy. And Gina says even if you did nothing else for the next 90 days, eliminate what doesn't matter. And Susan says let go of tasks that aren't fun and delegate. Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right, brilliant. We have a brilliant audience here today. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Okay, point number 2, use what you've got. For the love of all, use what you have got. So I like to talk about this as a funny thing happened on the way to investing in that program. So here's the deal. Years and years and years and years ago, so it was the beginning of my online coaching and consulting career. So we're going back 15 years. And then I did that for several years. So here's the funny thing. I was in contract sales. I had my own business, but part of what I did, because I loved it and it was so delicious for so many different reasons, is I would be hired out for contract sales. So all that meant is I was actually working under the umbrella of somebody else's coaching business, and I was a very important integral part of their team, working really closely with them. But I was fielding and screening all of the discovery sessions or the consultations. And it was not long before I heard the same very sad story over and over again. And it sounded like this. I would ask, so what has brought you to this call? And there would be whatever their answer was. And then I would always hear this. And I'm just so frustrated because I have spent all this money and I have invested in all these programs and I have attended all these events or seminars or webinars, or they were teleseminars back in the day, 15 years ago, because Zoom wasn't around. So that's what I kept hearing. I have spent all this money, I have spent all this time, and I really feel like I don't have anything to show for it. I love nothing more than a very complex problem that doesn't have an immediate solution. I get a buzz off of it. So I heard that and I kept thinking, this is weird because I keep hearing the same thing. And these are smart people. So what is going on that they have invested in this, that, and the other thing, and they have not moved their business forward? And so I knew with my expertise and experience in listening to them and knowing the right questions to ask, it was, number one, super puzzling because, again, these were really smart people. And I thought, this is just, something's not right if they can't invest in something, implement it, and then see results, because the formula really is that simple. And what the heck, and I just actually started to feel very, it's almost like I was more protective of their money and time than they were. And so I kind of took it as this personal charge where I thought, this is not okay. People cannot spend this kind of time and spend this kind of money and just really be in the same place in their business for not months, years. I don't know how many times I heard that, and I've been at it for 2 years and nothing's happening. This is not okay, and it's incredibly sad. So I started digging around a little bit more, and here's what I finally came to realize. People were, people are, and people do what I coined as invest out of order. Here's what this looks like in real life. I would have people say, oh, I invested in learning how to write a book so I could sell it and make money. Great. Love it. Marie and I are both writers. Love that. Tell me more. Well, it's not working. Okay. Who's your audience? Women over 40 who are stuck. Me, we're going to need a little bit more than that. Can you tell me more? No, when they're stuck and you get over 40 and this stuff kind of happens. So you're not writing a book because you don't, that's not an avatar. That's kind of a broad idea of who you want to serve. So there's that. Learning to speak from the stage, a conversion presentation, same kind of thing. Well, what's your marketing plan? What do you mean? Okay, that's why you're not able to do any kind of conversion presentation, is because you don't know who you're delivering the presentation to. I saw this time and again. Has anybody done this? This was a huge eye opener for me, because when I was on the side of the phone or the desk, listening to them, and I was able to go and identify the problem, I also realized I had done the same thing. So when you invest out of order, what that means is you are getting into learning how to do something that is not going to make any sense for you because you don't have the background to be able to really see how that new thing would fit into the old thing. It is not that you're not smart enough, you absolutely are. And it's not that you're just, oh, I don't get it. Why don't I get it? It's not even like you're wandering around in the woods and unable to see your way out of it. But when you invest out of order, you're taking on a lot of activities and a lot of information that at best is just going to confuse you. At worst, it's going to make you ask yourself that terrible question, which is, what is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with me. If you were to come to us and say, we want to sell apples and we want to do it old school style on the streets, we wouldn't say, well, let's go buy the apples. That's not the first thing you would do. The apples are going to get rotten. That doesn't make any sense. The first thing we would do is let's back it up. What are you putting the apples in? A cart. Okay. Where are you getting the cart? We would have that conversation. And how's the cart getting moved? The horse. Okay. So apples are way down the line here. And so is the horse, by the way. We still have a lot of work to do. But the equivalent is so many people in this industry jumped into buying the apples and then got really upset with themselves because they couldn't implement, because you didn't know that then you need the cart and then you need the horse and those need to come first, and then there are all these other things. So you didn't know, it wasn't your fault, and in addition to becoming very frustrated and confused, you start asking yourself that horrible question, what is wrong with me? So if anybody has invested out of order, I want you right now to just take a deep breath and release it. There is no shame, there is no blame, it was not your fault. The industry has done a terrible job of explaining this or even bringing it to anybody's attention and awareness that this is happening all day, every day on an ongoing basis. And I feel myself getting on my soapbox, and we don't have time for all of that. So I just want everybody to take a deep breath, and I'm going to let you know, we are going to show you how you can finally really get that return on the investment. I don't care if you've invested in 10 things or 100 things. Some of them are probably outdated, but whatever you know that you have invested in and you really wanted to make that thing work, there is a very high chance that you now can make it work. And by work, I mean get results and get your investment back on that. Can I just get a yippee-ki-yay in the chat from that? Who is ready for that?
Yippee, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this is Jen. You'd seen her before, but this was totally Jen. Jen had a lot of stuff. She had
Jen's here. Jen's here.
Oh, hi, Jen. Yeah. Jen had a lot of stuff that was going on, a lot of really cool stuff that was going on. She's very smart, she's very passionate, but it was all over. And again, it wasn't her fault. So she had a very clear vision of what she wanted her business to look like, but she just couldn't connect the dots. So this program taught her how to do this, and this program taught her to do this and this. And again, good people doing good things. But when nobody says, hey, you know what? You've got 1,500 puzzle pieces here. Let's dump them all out on the table and figure out what's what. And we're going to start with the border in place. It's really hard to move your business forward. So we helped her get that order. We helped her create the framework. We showed her how she could start putting things so that this piece connected to this piece, which would support this piece. And now her business looks totally different. She is booking clients right and left. It's actually pretty amazing. And she's just having so much fun. Okay, so what did you realize during this point? Again, part of a workshop is getting your mind to think in a different direction. It is doing, and we are going to do. And this part is really important because, again, if you just jump straight into the fire without being properly prepared, which is where you need your mind to think about things, organize them, and structure them, and think things through strategically, all of your doing is going to get incredibly frustrating. So go ahead and put in the chat for us what you did learn during investing out of order. Did you all see that movie? You're out of order. I'm out of order. This whole out of order. That's where I got it from. It's just I was talking to one particular woman one day, and she was so upset. And this was after several of these years of these conversations. Well, it was months, and that was it right there. I said, you've invested out of order. That's all it is. And we went from there.
So Susan says, I'm currently getting back to the basics. Love it.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Back to the basics. Here you go. What are the 3 activities? create connections, continue to develop conversations, and then schedule consultations. You do those three things and don't even worry about what's fallen off on the roadside while you're doing it. For 90 days, you will have a completely different business. You don't even have to do it well.
Right.
It's consistent and it's focusing on that. That is your revenue generation. One
Debbie
thing,
said, oh, sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, Debbie says all learning and not enough doing, which is absolutely, that's
Yeah,
something we did. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, my house is, I don't know, 95% books. It's just, it's insane. I really need to go through a purge. But I'm very much, I think that was Debbie that said that, yeah, if I just learn more, it's all going to be okay.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
learn more, it'll all be okay. So going back to revenue generation, one of the key things that we really live by is people are not paychecks. So please do not treat them like that. People are not paychecks. You want to use money and love people, not the other way around. So we always like to talk about that because when you start seeing things like revenue generation and sales and conversions, it can start to feel like, oh, these are just transactions and the people don't matter. The people absolutely do matter. They matter more than anything else. If you don't have people and you're not in the mindset that people are not paychecks, you're not going to have any paychecks because people are going to feel that and they're going to see it. Again, this is something that tends to happen when you have no idea that it's actually happening for a variety of reasons. So we're not saying that's what you're doing on purpose, but I just want you to keep that in mind as you're moving through the process of building a business that will travel wherever you go. So here's our final teaching point for today. So point number 3 is putting all of the pieces together. So let us know in the chat, do you have any or most of the following? A lead magnet, a conversion presentation, a CRM, a marketing channel or plan, Facebook account, Instagram account, LinkedIn account, Threads account, YouTube videos. There's
TikTok.
tons more, but does anybody have most of those?
Yep.
Yeah. And now the next question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, if we said to you, do you know what it is that you're doing? And you were to look at each individual piece. Scale of 1 to 10 is yes. Yes, I know what a lead magnet is and how to create it. Yes, I know that I need to email people and I have a system that's doing that. Yes, I know that I need to create videos or get onto social media. So 1 to 10, yeah, I know that I need to do that. And I know what it is. And 10's good to go.
People are typing. So we got Gina says 11, Paulette says 8, Michaela says 10, Kathleen says 9.
Yep,
Awesome.
there you go.
Right.
There you go.
10 and 8 from Tammy and Susan. Yep,
Yep.
absolutely.
You're high producing, high performance, cream of the crop, top of the class people. It's who you are. If you weren't, you wouldn't have even gotten into business ownership to begin with. You also, at this point, because these tend to be the people that we attract, you've been at this for a while. You are not the newbie, and we've all been newbies, but you are not somebody who goes, what's a lead magnet? Or if somebody comes in on a lead magnet, am I trying to make them a client after that? I mean, these are legitimate questions that everybody asks in the beginning. Those are not the questions you're asking yourself. What are the questions you're asking yourself? Why isn't this working? And then if you're having a really, really bad day, like, stress eating Snicker bars, you're probably saying, what's wrong with me? So the question isn't, why isn't this working? And it's certainly not, what's wrong with me? What is going on is that you've got a lot of stuff happening and you just don't have an order for it. There's no structure to it. There's no organization. And then you're unable to sit down and do any kind of semblance of following a plan because this is what's happening. You sit down and you go, what am I going to do today? Because I really need to get clients. I don't know. I could do this. I could do that. Yeah, right? That's what's happening. So this is another thinking piece of working, and then we're going to do the work. So your thinking piece. The first thing that you need to do is know which part of your framework is your natural go-to. So right now, if everybody can grab their handout, the first handout, it should have 3 circles on it. Yep. Okay. I want to go through these really quickly because your first piece of working on this is understanding which part of this framework is your natural go-to. So what you see on this handout is a circle that says inspiration, a circle that says income, a circle that says infrastructure, and then there is a fourth circle, which is integration, but there was no way we could really get into that today. So focus on, you've got inspiration, income, and infrastructure. The first step to getting your business up and running with less effort and with more ease is understanding and knowing where your natural go-to is in this framework. So I'm going to give you a couple examples so you know how to self-identify. If you have a background in sales and marketing, and you love having sales conversations, and you love creating marketing material, and you love getting on social and interacting and then going into the DMs, your natural go-to is the income piece. That's what you do. You love it. In times of stress and overwhelm, you probably are going to camp out there. I'll make more phone calls. I'll get into more people's DMs. Let me go respond on Facebook. Let me go do some more YouTube videos. It's your love. It's what you're naturally good at. And by the way, if you're naturally good at something, you usually do love it, and vice versa. So you would be an income, that's your natural go-to on the framework. Infrastructure, if you're a techie, if you worked in your past with computers and programming, coding, if you love orders and sequences and everything is in a box so it makes sense and it's nice and tight and clean, your go-to is going to be the infrastructure. So what happens when you're under stress and overwhelmed is you're going to go play there. You're going to go work in that and play there. Let me clean up the CRM. Let me make our website prettier. This needs to connect to that, which needs to connect to that. Yeah, that's a mess. Let me take care of that. That's going to be your go-to. And finally, if you are the super creative, anything that feels like it's going to have any kind of structure or pen you in at all feels a little stressful, inspiration is your natural go-to. So you're going to dream, you're going to create, you're going to, I call it getting out my coloring books and colored pencils and 9 different calendars because I'm in there. You're going to inspiration. That's your go-to. So in times of stress and overwhelm, your default is, let me go create some more stuff. So round robin again, really quickly, you need to find where your natural go-to place is in this framework. If you hang out in inspiration, it's going to sound like, let me go create some more stuff. If you hang out in the income, it's going to be, let me go make some more phone calls, get some more marketing going. And if you're a techie and infrastructure person, it's going to be, let me put all these pieces to, let me connect everything. Let me connect everything and make order out of the chaos. Is anybody getting any aha moments here with this?
Yeah, raise your hand. Thumbs up. Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
them.
This is huge, huge. If you don't understand where you naturally hang out and play, and if you don't realize that when you are stressed and overwhelmed, you really dig in and lock in and commit to that particular circle in the framework, it is going to be practically impossible to move past that, because you are doing the work, because you are following the steps that you've been giving, because you are working hard, and you're still going, why isn't this working? And then eventually, what is wrong with me? So you are brilliant in the area in which you are brilliant. Some of you are natural sales and marketing whizzes. Some of you are those gifted people, which I just don't understand how you do it. The tech, the operations blows my mind. I'm never in that circle. And some of you are super, super, super creative, and you want to make the scarves. You want to do the thing, you want to make the art is what you want to do. So really understanding and identifying and owning it and being okay with it and actually high-fiving yourself for it is the first work step that you need to take. So that's a long-winded way of saying, what is it? Awareness is the first step to, yeah, there you go. That's all that is. All right. Second thing is you need to understand which part of your framework is the bottleneck for that day. So imagine yourself at whatever time you get up in the morning, you get your coffee or your favorite beverage, do what you need to do. You sit down at your desk and you take a look at this framework. You need to have a really deep understanding of, okay, which part of this framework is going to be my bottleneck today? Now, this gets easier because once you know where you tend to hang out and play the most, you're going to see why you're not in those other areas. So if you are the infrastructure person, you're going to sit down and go, this is lovely, and I've got everything in order, but I don't really have any clients. So your income circle is your bottleneck that day. There's not enough income coming in. If the reverse is true, you've got people that are actually saying, hey, can you let me know where that link is? Or I really wanted to attend this thing I saw on Facebook, or I've been following you for a while. I'd love to set up a conversation. And you're going, that's really great. And then you realize, well, okay, how are they going to get to me? What am I going to do? How am I going to get this up? Okay, this is feeling very chaotic. So infrastructure, that day for you, that's your bottleneck. Is this making sense to everybody? Or a better question is, am I explaining it so that it's clear?
Yep. Perfect. Dead on. Yeah.
Great. Always my job to communicate, not yours to interpret. So remember that too. Next step in your framework is you are going to create a simple mini plan for every morning. Now, here's where the 60 minutes comes in. You've got 4 circles. We just don't have that final integration circle in there for today. I want you to imagine yourself sitting down in the morning, setting your clock, or where's my little productivity piggy? I don't think I can reach him right now. I just have a little egg timer, but he's this cute little pig, and turn it to 60 minutes and boom, you're ready to go. So you sit down at your desk, you set your timer for 1 hour, and then you're going to break up each of these pieces, each one of those circles, into 15-minute increments. Here's why. If you start your day focused on the income and stressed out about it, you're going to lose your inspiration pretty quickly. Not the big inspiration, but the inspiration from getting through 8 a.m. to whatever time you work. So you want to make sure that 15 minutes, start with the inspiration. Reattach and ground yourself to not just the big why, but all of the other reasons why you're doing the business. That's 15 minutes spent on inspiration. Then you're going to move into taking a look at your income strategy and plan for just 15 minutes, because this is a daily thing. So what do you need to do today to create conversations, further create connections, further develop the conversations and relationships, and then schedule consultations? That's all you need to think about in your income 15-minute piece that you're focusing on. Next thing you're going to do is look at your infrastructure for 15 minutes. Do you have something going on that is going to require your team or you to quickly get in and maybe fine tune your email system? I don't know. Is there a sales page that still needs to be connected? Now, if anybody right now is going, okay, that would take me forever, that's because you're not an infrastructure person. That's not the circle that you hang out and play in. Also, if you were kind of going, oh, I don't know if I can make all these phone calls and everything, that's because you're not an income person. Doesn't mean you can't make income, and it doesn't mean you can't provide infrastructure for yourself, but it's not where you hang out and play. First part, know which part of your framework is your natural to go to. Second part is understand every day by looking at each pieces of the inspiration, the income, the infrastructure, and eventually the integration, 15 minutes in each one of those categories. That's where you get your hour. And you're going to then create a simple mini plan every single morning. This has fundamentally changed our business.
Yeah.
We can be Ricochet Rabbit. I have a tendency, because I'm the strategist, to I will hold stuff back, and Marie's going, girl, we got to get this out. Come on. And I'm still tinkering over here because, well, what are we going to do in 2032? We got to figure that out first before we can, sit on Facebook today. And Marie she's just so good at making things happen. And so sometimes I kind of hold her back. So we have a really interesting dynamic. You don't need a business partner. You're already having those dynamics with yourself. But this has fundamentally changed our business, because now we sit down and we look at it. 1 hour, 15 minutes. Are we feeling inspired? And if no, why not? What do we need to do to get it back? Do we have an income plan for the day? Do we know who we need to talk to, what we're talking to them about, and what the next step would be? Is our infrastructure in place? When we are doing all of the things in our business, do we actually have a business that's supporting our clients to take the next step? And then finally, the integration. Do we have playtime scheduled on our calendar? I was all over the internet over the weekend because we've got a lot of trips, some are personal, some are retreats for next year. And that's a lot of planning that has to happen. So are we taking the time to integrate what we want to do with our lives into the business? You always want to start with the lifestyle that you want to live and make sure that you have a business that supports that, not the other way around. And then the final thing is you implement it. Okay, so let's workshop this fast freedom style. You do not need long, and you can certainly continue to do this once we complete for today. So here's the first question for you. Looking at your freedom framework and the 3 circles that you have right now, don't worry about the integration piece right now. Where do you tend to spend the most time? This is your understanding, your cognitive awareness that, this is where I hang out, man. I love it. I live here. I play here. This is what I do. I totally rock at it. And if I could just hang out in this circle, I'd be totally fine. So answer that question. The next question is, where do you need the most support? So you're looking at your three circles. This is, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go there. That whole word, like infrastructure, for me starts stressing me out. If you say technology, I really lose it. So where in those three circles, which one of those three circles is where you're really going to need the most support? You don't want to do it. And then here's the fun question. And so this is really the integrative piece, but not dipping into that too deep today. Where would you go, or what would you do if you really were in your freedom flow? This can be a little thing. This is what I want to do in September. This is what I want to do by the end of the year, or this is really what I want to do next year. So it can be big, small, it doesn't matter. Just where would you go, or what would you do if you were in freedom flow and your business was humming, you didn't have to worry about it? Okay. We definitely encourage you to spend more time on that. Some interesting things will probably come up for you, so you can workshop that later, but we wanted to make sure that we kickstarted you today with some thinking working activities, because the thinking is always the first part of the work, and then getting something down on paper. So here's what we covered today. Number one, you have to do what matters most. That is run a profitable business. Number two, use what you've got. We're not saying don't go invest in anything else, because again, some of the stuff that you have may very well be outdated, and there's always a legitimate reason for needing this thing to move your business forward. But what you want to make sure that you're really doing is number three, which is putting all of the pieces together. We have really seen with all of our clients that when we spend the time with them and helping them put together all of the pieces, there is a flow, there is an ease, there is a renewed enthusiasm and excitement. And guess what? Very naturally, they kick off into number one, which is they start doing what matters most.
Mm.
Okay, so what would come next? So today, what you should have is the beginnings of your thinking work, an overview so you know how to structure and organize things in your mind. And then you should also be able to take what you've done today and learned today and start filling it out a little bit more. Now, some of you are going to be done and dusted, as Marie says, good to go. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Wow, thank you so much. And that is awesome. Some of you, though, are going, I can see me getting off of this, getting into the busyness of my day, and really kind of not doing what needs to be done, mostly because you haven't structured and organized your thoughts yet to be able to do that. So what you're going to need to do next to really put all of this on turbocharge for ease of clients, for revenue generation, and to have fun, to again create that white space or the freedom in your calendar, is you really are going to need a deep discovery and a complete customization for your three most important income generating activities. All of you need to create the connections, continue to have the conversations, and schedule consultations. But the way that you do that is going to be unique to you. Do not go and hang out on Facebook and think you're going to get business if you really do not want to be on Facebook. If you loathe video, don't do video, go do something else. So we know from working with our clients that if you're not in your three sweet spot places of sales and marketing, it's going to be really challenging. So complete customization and a deep discovery. You got to know what three you're going to do consistently, because remember, the only marketing that works is the work that gets done and done consistently. You have to like it. You're also going to need to create a simple plan to leverage your previous investments. This is a ton of fun when we work with our clients on this. This is everybody, but I always think of Jen, who just had so much cool stuff, but none of it was really connected. She really started to see, oh, I got this lead bag that I created, and if I just revise the messaging a little bit, it's totally going to connect to this, which means I can go do this, which means boom, she had a client. So really understanding and creating your own plan that's going to leverage your previous investments. You can get that ROI. And again, this will prevent you from thinking you have to keep learning more stuff. You don't until you do. And right now, for most of you, you don't. You've got enough. You just need to know how to put the pieces together. And then the fun part always is plan and book your next adventure. We really want you to start doing this because you're training your brain to recognize patterns. So when you start planning and booking adventures consistently, it's a random Wednesday off. It's the long weekend when you probably feel like you should sit home and work on Friday. It's the big trips over to whatever continent you want to go to. But when you train your brain to recognize the patterns by planning and booking your next adventure, what happens is the lizard brain calms down. You know, all of that kind of survival stuff. And your more elevated brain says, oh, we do this all the time. It's no big shakes. You can take off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday pretty much whenever you want, because we got it under control. We know what's supposed to happen. So this is really how we moved from over here being grumpy and cranky and confused to woo, we love what we do. All right, so the Freedom Framework Accelerator, this is all about building a business that travels with you. It travels with you to your backyard. It travels with you 2 states over. It travels with you to Europe and Africa and Asia and wherever it is that you want to go. And it travels with you emotionally. This is what we have created for our clients. And one of the things that they tell us is it's not just that they're making more money and getting more clients and spending less hours in front of their desk. What they are telling us in no uncertain terms is this love that they have for what they do, this passion that they have, and this vision that they have always seen in their mind is all starting to come together for them. And that is a huge emotional shift. When that happens, you really do have different energy and everything else starts to become easier. So we've got the 60-minute Freedom Framework Accelerator. This is going to be an implementation intensive that streamlines your business. It's going to boost your revenue, and it's going to help you really be able to integrate more adventure into your life so you have more freedom to do more of what you love. So here's how this works. We are over a little bit on time, but this we'll be wrapping up here in just a couple minutes. So step number 1, we're going to help you develop a personal freedom framework that works for you. This is critical because you'll generate more revenue and have more fun when you actually have something that's designed and created to support who you are at your core and the natural talents and gifts that you have. You can do this solo, or if you have a partner or a teammate like Marie and I work together, it works either way. It only takes 60 minutes. We are talking about first hour in the morning after whatever your coffee shower hour is. First thing in the morning, 60 minutes, you sit down, you will have your customized freedom framework that works for you. What you're specifically going to get on this, these are deliverables, is you're going to get master templates that can be customized. And this is going to keep you organized and structured. Immediately start every day out of that productive and profitable, not just busy. The second thing that we do is we create a strategy that's going to connect all of your puzzle pieces. So again, let's dump it all out on the table. You've got 1,500 puzzle pieces there. We want to start putting things together. We'll start with the border so you can do what matters most. This part is critical because you have already invested a lot of money and a lot of time into these different programs and course creation and all of that kind of stuff. Again, good people doing good things, but because you don't really know how to make everything work together, you're getting a lot of bottlenecks going on. So what you're going to get here is a roadmap that you can visually refer to. So that's going to keep you clear. It'll also make you very confident about what you're doing every day, because in one little glance, you're going to be able to say, oh yeah, if this, then this, then this, then this, got it. And your prospective clients are also going to start up showing faster and more naturally. And then finally, what we do is we show you how to integrate your dreams and your desires into your everyday. Too many of you, and we were guilty of this too, you're sitting there going someday, 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 someday. We do not advocate being financially irresponsible and taking out credit cards to go travel. We're not saying that. But there are things that you could do right now, that are low cost or no cost, that are going to feed your sense of adventure, that are going to support your desire to get the heck out of your office and away from your computer, and infuse you with that enthusiasm, which is now you're in the inspiration circle part of the framework very naturally, because you're not just a workhorse all the time. So what you get there is what we call our Think Ahead integrations training and checklist. This is for easy planning, and it provides plenty of room for spontaneity. So again, when we travel, we do take vacations that are shorter, but we love to go and spend at least a month or more in some place. That takes a lot of planning and a lot of foresight and forethought about what is coming. But because we love the travel element and the adventure element, which if you're here, you do too, you've got to have a lot of ability to be spontaneous. So we're going to make sure that you get both the structure and the spontaneity. Okay, so all of this is inside our 60-minute Freedom Framework Accelerator. So the big thing here usually is what's the investment. And so what we were really excited to do is we went down and we looked at a lot of things, and then we said, this is really simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it. So to do these kind of things one-on-one with our clients, we offer what's called a VIP experience, and that's $3,500. But what we know is that that's not always the best choice for people in the moment or today for whatever reason, and we're a judgment-free zone. It just may not be what you want to do right now. Maybe your budget isn't allocated to support something like that for your business. Totally fine. We get it 100%. So what we did is we made sure that it was a super easy yes, and this is $297. It's not one-on-one with us, but it's going to be a small group. We will both be in there live and in person. And again, one of the things that we are really proud of in our business is that we are high touch. You can ask any of our clients when they reach out to us personally, and we don't mind that you do that. We will get back to them, not on weekends, and we have stuff. Get back to you. Okay. So here's the time and the framework for how the accelerator works. This is going to be a 1-day workshop. We're going to hold this on Monday, September 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The layout, if you will, is we're going to do 4 total hours of training and implementation time. So training, implementation within this 4-hour block. We're going to do 2 hours. Then you're going to take a 30-minute break. Then we're going to come back for 2 more hours. Then you're going to take a 15-minute break, just kind of stretch and do whatever you need to do. And then we're going to do Q&A and wrap up. So one of the things we are incredibly passionate about, this is my second core value under freedom, is efficiency. Some things take 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, or longer. This is not one of them. We can get you through this in a total of 4 hours, and it will fundamentally change your business. Why? Because every day when you sit down, you will spend 15 minutes in each one of those disciplines within that framework. You'll create the plan and you are off and running. The first week that we did this, Marie and I didn't know she was going through this, and she didn't know I was either, but I didn't have anything to do after like 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I just banged it all out in the morning because we were so organized with both our thoughts and then our implementation processes. And so finally, I think it was probably, I don't know, second or third week, Marie, I think it was second.
Yeah, second.
And we had our morning meeting. We're like, what are you feeling like? Could you take on what are you doing? We have all this free time now. It was really bizarre, but it was amazing. And we fell back in love with our work. Our energy increased, and we just, again, everything changed about our business. So at 297, we certainly hope that is a super easy yes for anybody who is realizing I could use this kind of support and accountability. But we also like to make sure that we over deliver. So we put in something that we call the profit party. If it's not fun in our business, we're probably not going to do it. We don't like to be workhorses. We don't like to be, good little soldiers doing what no, we like to be spontaneous. We like to load a ton of fun into our calendars. So we got to make everything fun. If you're here and you've been a client, we don't have homework, we have home fun. So there you go. So this is the profit party. This is going to be Monday, October 7th for 2 hours, 12 to 2 ET, 9 to 11 PT. Here's why this is layered in and why this is really important. Here's what happens. We see it all the time. You do what you learn. So you show up for the intensive, you get the training, you're implementing, you will leave with things done. That's that efficiency component that we're really very attached to. We don't send you off with theoretical information and hope you can figure it out. So you're going to leave with things done at the end of that intensive. And then you're going to go implement it in real time, in the real world, in your real business. And we're giving you 2 weeks to do that. And then here's what happens. Some things you implement are going to go exactly like you hoped they would, or even better. And you're going to go, this was great. What next? And some things that you implement are not going to go the way you thought they would. And you're going to go, what now? So we're always very attuned to it's either what next or what now. So the bonus profit party is your chance to come in. We do have structure around it, also opportunity to be spontaneous. It's a little bit Q&A. It's a little bit share your wins. It's a little bit what are your biggest challenges? But what we want to see there from you is that you have taken what we have taught you how to do, you've implemented it, and you have some kind of feedback. No failure, just feedback, right? So your feedback is, this is great, what next? or this didn't quite go the way I thought it would. What now? So that is your bonus profit party. And then finally, we want to give you one of our favorite things. So this is called the Ultimate Business Freedom. It's a complete roadmap and guide. It is this gorgeous, thanks to our team, 55-page manual. We get feedback all the time from it where people are saying it absolutely changed the way that they think about your business. It is part journal, it's part tutorial, it's a whole lot of integrative fun, and you will love this. And this is something we actually sell as a standalone product, but this is yours and is included in your $297 investment. Okay, so let's really quickly address the elephant in the room, and thank you so much for all of you sticking around. This is the first time we've done this presentation, so we're a little bit over, and we really appreciate you hanging in there. So you've already invested so much. Yes, we know that you have. You've spent a lot of money. You've spent a lot of time. Let's clean it up. We're not going to teach you new things. Some of it might be a little new, but mostly what it is understanding. When we understand who you are, what drives you, what's important to you, and what your natural gifts and talents are, and then we take a look at what you have already created and what is in existence in your digital assets, then what we do, dump the puzzle pieces out. We're going to help you put it all back together. So this is not an investment. So you learn what else to do so that you may or may not implement it at some point. We will, with love, make sure that you implement it. But then, of course, that's up to you. Something else you might be thinking is, I am enrolled in too many things currently. I am at capacity, can't possibly consider this. 4 hours, which is going to give you back capacity and is going to take things off your plate. So that one's not even a lot to think about there. Not a good time. When is it ever a good time? We are moving into Q4. Q4 and Q1, lights up. That is the time where you want to do everything you possibly can to generate that revenue so you can become profitable. So you don't want to miss the boat and think that, well, I'll just wait until. No, everything is on a 90-day cycle, including business. If you start now, you'll see results in 90 days, the bigger results. You'll see results before then. But if you wait, you've just tripped yourself out another 90 days. So start thinking in 90-day cycles. And then what if this doesn't work for me? Here's the thing. If you do what we tell you to do and you show up and you implement and you ask us questions, if you're stuck, it will work. You've got to do the work, but it will work. All right, so let's get this wrapped up. So to get started, all you have to do is click the sign up link that should be posted in the chat box.
Yep, it's
Go
there.
there.
Yep,
Complete
all there.
Pardon?
It's there.
Okay, it's there. Just go there, complete the registration, and then we'll contact you and we will get you set up for freedom. Freedom. I can't ever do that without thinking of Braveheart. And then finally, we like to end everything with this quote, because this is something that we deeply believe. We know that when we implement this for ourselves and when we help our clients implement this, that life becomes a whole lot more beautiful. You may have a beautiful life now, but there is something in the human spirit that's always crying out for just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And not in a bad way, not in a selfish way. Just, you're capable of more. You can help more people. You can generate more income. That you can put more space back onto your calendar, more into your bank account, more into your life, and sow seeds of goodness and greatness into other people that you really care about. So Henry David Thoreau said it best, which is this: go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life that you have imagined. That's what we want for all of you. And we really appreciate you spending your time with us here today. And again, thanks for sticking with us. So it's Q&A time. We threw these in there because we thought this was fun. These are some of the places we've been able to go. All of them were at a length of a month or longer. These are our long-term travel. It's kind of how we live and work and run a business efficiently and effectively from anywhere in the world. Or as we like to say, travel as much as you want without ever missing a business beat. So if you need to go, we will certainly say goodbye. Thank you so much. If you need anything from us, let me click you over here really quick. You can email me, Jane@wanderthe7.com, or you can email Marie at wanderthe7.com. We're also pretty constantly on Facebook. Not constantly after that whole presentation. We have time off. But DM us in Messenger, and it's us that's personally replying. So we will definitely get back to you. So
Jane, let's really quickly before the Q&A get that raffle going because we have something really cool to give away. Yes. So if you want to let Erin go ahead and share the screen, and yeah, we want to make sure that everybody gets in there. This is a really cool gift, actually. So if you're like me, I don't travel with much at all. I just don't. And so, but if I take trips within the US, I use like Spirit or Frontier. I know, but I still do because sometimes I want to go visit one of my 6 children or one of my 15 grandchildren. And sometimes I just want to jump on a plane and do that. So I go for those airlines, which always fly into those cities. And then they want to charge you $400,000 for a carry-on bag. Well, these carry-on bags, brilliantly enough, were designed just for those airlines. So we're giving one away. Actually, it comes in a 2-pack. We're giving one away. And so we have everybody's name here. Erin, if you want to go ahead and see who got to win it, that would be fantastic.
There we go.
We go.
Oh,
Darcy is the winner. Darcy, we will get with you and we'll get your information so where we can send it to you, where we can, mail it to you so that you can have it. And congratulations. Yay. Hope you think of us on your next trip. All right. So any Q&A, this is the Q&A time. For those of you that have to leave, thank you so much for hanging with us. This was fun. I feel like everything that Jane had to say was very important. So glad you guys got to stick around. Definitely ask all the questions you want. And remember, the replay is going to come out. So you guys will get it and you can watch it from this point on or watch it again if you wanted to take more notes. So yeah, floor is open. Any questions? Raise your hand or just hop on and yeah.
I'm loving all the comments, just seeing all the diverse,
Yeah, I love
diverse
it.
skills. And somebody said, Mikayla, Canva, she'll go play in Canva all day.
Yeah.
Canva.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is putting all the, I'm going to answer a question that's here actually. Why is putting all the pieces together so hard for ourselves, even if we can do it for others? It's cobbler's kids shoe syndrome is what it is. We always have mentors and coaches on our payroll. We are
Right.
always investing and we always have somebody that's in our back pocket because we do the same thing. We're,
Mhm.
says we know what we're doing. Well, yeah, we do, but at some point you're inside your own fishbowl.
Right,
So
right.
it's always going to be harder to do it for yourself, even when you have a specialization for doing the thing that's very clearly defined and really niche down. It can be really hard to do for your
Yeah.
on your own. So
Darcy has a question. Yeah.
Yes, so I'm a coach, a mindset coach, a manifestation coach now. And I kind of thought this was a travel Zoom. So maybe I can connect with Marie later and just ask some
Absolutely.
questions on how to maybe get involved in this on the side or
Absolutely.
do
Absolutely.
something.
Just let
Do
me know. Yep.
something.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. No
Okay.
problem
I'm
whatsoever.
gonna run, ladies. Thank you
Okay.
so much for
You're
your
so
time. I
welcome.
appreciate
You're
you.
so welcome.
Oh, and
Okay.
congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to further address the travel is it is absolutely the center of everything that's our center. We radiate out from there. So we travel, we hold retreats for our clients. Marie has, she was really a pioneer in the field of sponsored travel, which is fascinating. But one of the things that we've really learned about our clients is when the business isn't shored up the way that it needs to be, it prevents you from going and doing as much travel as you would like to do, or when you are traveling, what happens is you get stressed out about work. And so you start working and you miss the actual enjoyment of the trip. And we've seen it happen both ways, meaning we've seen people go, okay, I'm in, Sicily for the month and woohoo, and they just go out on a bender and they never touch their business. And then at the end of the month, they go, oh man, I'm really going to pay for this when I get back because I just didn't pay any attention to my business. Or they go, have to make sure the business doesn't fall apart on me. And then they work the whole time. And then at the end of their month, they go, oh, I wish I could have gone out to dinner more. And I miss seeing this thing and that thing. So it's a delicate dance that needs to be done. Everybody in our world really is what I would call travel focused. Travel means different things to different people. So again, we have people that they just want to go 2 states over. We have people that want to see all 7 continents.
Yeah.
So if travel is your love, you're definitely, let's definitely talk if that's anybody else besides Darcy, because that's what we help you do. Create a business that will travel, run a business, develop a business that will travel with you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Just going through the
Yeah.
Chat here. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. I'm not surprised most everybody feels like they know what to do, but it's still not getting done. So that is not a surprise at all. If that's you, that's what we're here for. We know exactly what that feels like, and we help our clients do that all the time.
Any other questions? And honestly, don't be shy. And if you don't want to come on camera, then pop them in the chat and we'll answer them from there. But don't be shy. Believe me, no question is too big or too small. We had them all, we have them all. This is why we've developed this and yeah, you're very welcome, Darcy. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. All right. Okay.
Questions, questions, questions.
Yep.
You ran to get lunch and it's a fake out because you're still
Right.
you're just basking in the afterglow of everything that
Right,
you heard, but
exactly.
furiously scribbling notes on what you need to do next. So last call for questions because we do have some people here, but if there are no questions, we'll let everybody go.
Let's see. Thank you to two lady leaders in this business, Heather Toronto. Thank you, Paulette, for joining. Thank you, Gina. Yes, Jacqueline. Jacqueline has a question.
Let's hear it.
Yes, definitely. She might be typing. We'll give her a chance. Yeah. I do know a few people.
Yes. I said, you know what? Let me just say it because it's too much. Okay, so what if you have like so many things going on? Do you help us to get clear on what we need to focus on in order to get the freedom? Because I got the travel part down,
Right.
but and I don't really have to work when I'm gone, but I kind of do a lot of things. And one of the programs I have is No Degree Needed, where I help people find themselves without a degree, because oftentimes people get out of a job or out of a situation and they're like, oh, I got to get another degree, or no, you need to use what you've got to get what you want. So it's kind of like what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
did that make sense?
Yes, it
Yeah,
did.
totally. It totally made sense. And
And
absolutely.
then I'm watching the grandbaby, so I got a lot of stuff going on.
That's okay.
But,
I get it.
yeah. So I love the program. I definitely want to jump into it. Like, I'm like most of the women on here, I'm sure, the shiny object syndrome, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So don't want to do that, and trying to help people not do that,
Right.
because I'm a global citizen. So I'm traveling freely and meeting all these wonderful people that are traveling freely. But I want to help other people travel, because when I'm traveling, I look back and I look at my social media posts and people are living vicariously through me. I'm like, you can do it too.
Right.
So I want to help them do that too.
Yeah.
So
And most of our clients are women over 50, and there is a different it's just a different phase of life. So there's responsibility for the immediate family when you're younger, but once you get over 50, you've kind of got multi-generations. If you're not responsible for them, they still have expectations, and that's okay. There are also assets that are involved. There are homes that need to be shuttered up, all of it. So if you feel like, and for anybody, if you feel like you've got the travel thing down and it's not, I need money to go make travel, then you really, really are our ideal client. Most of our clients have a business. It is running. It makes money. They can afford to go travel. They can afford to go do the things that they want to do. And part of the struggle there just becomes, because you have so much going on, how do I start parceling everything out so I don't do the urgent, I actually do what matters? Sometimes a lot of it is taking a look with you and just reassessing, what is it that I really need and want in my life, and what needs to be outsourced or go away completely, and then bringing all of that into your business. So it's retooling is really what we are great at doing. It's refining, restructuring, and retooling what you have in existence, so it just feels like a better
falls
fit.
into place, right? It's streamlining and simplifying, right? And the reason why we developed the 60-minute, where you spend 15 minutes on each of those eyes, we like to call them, is because we want to go out and do the other things, and because we do have a business to run. But when you can streamline and simplify it by addressing exactly like Jane said, exactly what you need to address that particular day, and doing that consistently, that's where all the pieces fall into place. And then you're not doing busy work, and you have more white space, and you can do the things that you love, and your business is running. So it's really about looking at it as a whole and finding where you need to put those pieces together and what you need to do in which order. Yeah.
Is Gina still here? Because she said, yes, exactly. And I'm like,
Yeah,
exactly
Gina
what
is
part,
still
Gina?
here. Yeah, I
Ex-
am.
What part resonated with you with what I said, Gina? Because you said exactly.
Well, just the every like you having so much having so much that part of putting the pieces together and like
Mm,
streamlining it all is also where I'm struggling. And Marie
okay.
knows I'm working with her too, so I'm currently pivoting on things and it's just like where do I go?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
that's something that we all, like Jane said, it doesn't matter what year, how many years, where you are in your business, that happens. And that happened to us. And what snapped us out of that was because we said the joy's kind of gone. Like, what is going on here? Like, we kept chasing different things. And then individually we were kind of doing things, and we came together one day, like in January. Jane was having one pity party of her own, and I was like really I literally said this to her: I'm going to, there's an island in Thailand called Monkey Island. I'm going to live there because I'm done. Like, I was frustrated because we have these beautiful ideas and we're helping people, but they're all fragmented, and we were kind of doing this together. And then when we came up with this and started teaching it to our bigger one-on-one clients, it started falling into place for us, for them. And we were like, you know what, we want to bring this to the world because this really does work. So it is about putting those pieces together and putting them together in a way that makes sense and that you're happy with, and that it's exciting, and it doesn't seem so overwhelming. So yeah, we
Yeah,
get
there's
it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
things that get results, and then there are doing things that bring you joy, and the results are just kind of the gravy on top. And so
Yeah.
that's what it's going for.
Exactly. All right. Any other questions? You guys are awesome for sticking with us, because we just, as you can tell, we're super passionate about this. So this gets his jazz up. Any other questions? If not, we'll go ahead and release you guys. We're going to send out that the replay shortly. And any questions whatsoever, please let us know via email. And a lot of you have us on Facebook. We always answer on Facebook. So, and as Jane said, it's us, not anybody else. So feel free to contact us there. All right. All right, guys. You're very welcome, Gina. We will see you guys later, and hopefully, yeah, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.